Here we're going to get to controversy, because I know this is a very hated film. Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve and Richard Pryor. I know a lot of people hate the film because it's too silly, too campy, too comedic. Richard Pryor, various other things. But I don't care. I sincerely enjoy this film, and if I watch it again, I can say this is my second favorite Superman film after Superman the movie. Even more than Superman 2, I like Superman 2. But one, at least Superman 2 gets the praise. This film gets put so far under the garbage that I don't think it's fair. That's just my opinion. Number two, watching these films again, I like Superman 2, but I had more fun with Superman 3. And I guess I can see why people say it's campy. I can see that. But if it's campy, then to me this is the right way. Batman and Robin is the wrong way of doing it. And I've said this before. I mean, you have a guy with red tape and tights and blue tights. There's going to be some humor in it. Yeah, I can admit the opening scene is a bit too far. They could have just used the TV version where it's the credits in space. I could give you that. But again, I really enjoyed watching this film again. I enjoy Richard Pryor. I'm a big Richard Pryor fan. I enjoy a lot of his movies. I know that's the thing. A lot of people don't like his movies, but I do. See No Evil, Hear No Evil is my favorite of his. I enjoy The Toy. I enjoy Busted Loose. I like Stir Crazy. I like Critical Condition. I like Moving, which I reviewed like a month or two ago. I like Richard Pryor in movies, and especially this one. I know one of the reasons he got the job was he did a Johnny Carson interview, which I actually found on YouTube. It was one where George Carlin was on it as well. I think if you type in Richard Pryor, George Carlin, and then Johnny Carson, like at the end of that video, he talks about, "Oh, I look forward to Superman 2." So I guess maybe that sparked him getting the role. But I liked his character of Gus. I liked the idea that he became a computer hacker, which I thought was interesting to do in 1983, really enough the year I was born, because computers were not, I mean, you gotta understand, 1983, computers were not the thing they are nowadays, so I thought it was kind of a bold, intriguing thing that they went for the computer idea. Like, this seems like something that of course they would do nowadays. Someone hacked into a computer, hacked into a satellite. They still make movies today where people hack into satellites and maybe they control the weather. And wasn't that the plot of, what was the Avengers with Sean Connery movie or something? There's plenty of movies with that. And even like when he's hacking in order to get more money into his paycheck, I think this might have been even before War Games. I could be wrong with Matthew Broderick. Might have been even before that. Yeah, I could be wrong. But think about that. Like in 1983, you have a computer hacker who hacks into the system to get more money into his paycheck. Like little stuff like, you know what, that was, again, interesting that they thought of that idea back in 1983. And I love the big computer at the end. To me, that screamed out of a comic book, which I wanted to see in a Superman movie. And yeah, I would like to have seen like maybe like actual robot, like the Fleischer cartoons, robots trying to attack Superman smashing them, punching them. And that's something I would have added, which probably would have been ridiculed as well. But I mean, like Superman 2 I liked. In this, I felt Superman do more. I mean, even in the silly opening, he does save a man Which I remember as a kid being kind of creepy, that you're stuck in your car and you're ready to drown while being trapped in your own car. And the guy's like trying to breathe for air. I always remember that being kind of a creepy shot. And Superman saves him. Superman saving the plant. And I always thought this was a cool idea that he goes to a lake and he, with his breath, freezes the top layer of the lake, and he lifts it up and he douses it and saves, drenches all with water to put the fire out. And also Al Matthews, Sergeant Apone from Aliens, is in this movie as one of the firemen who talks to Superman. So I'm like, I recognize that guy. Oh, if you put a mustache on him, that's Al Matthews. Assholes and elbows, Superman here, come here. It's like, ready for him to say that to Superman. Look into my eye. Just imagine him saying that to Superman. Hey Superman, look into my eye. I like Robert Vaughn as an actor, and this is probably the role I like him the most is in this movie. It's the role I remember him the most. I know people don't say I like this strictly for nostalgia, but if that's the case, I would like Superman 4, and I do not like Superman 4 at all. Even as a kid, I didn't like it. But that's just me. That's just me. But this, I mean, I like that it wasn't Lex Luthor again. I like that instead of land, it's like, hey, a weather that, you know, fucks up things, fucks up Columbia. Superman goes in, saves the day. He turned the tornado upside down. And then they get the oil, and then this big supercomputer. Margot Kidder, it's sad that she's not in it a lot. Some say because it was punishment because she stood up for Richard Donner. So the Salkind punished her, which I know they deny on the commentary, but I think that is what happened, despite their bullshit rationale. And that was BS. I'll agree with you on that. On the flip side, I like Lana. I like Annette O'Toole. I liked Superman, you know, Clark Kent going back to Smallville, going back to his hometown. I thought Annette O'Toole was sweet, was likable. It made it a little bit different because she was more in love with Clark Kent than Superman. Like, Lois Lane was more in love with Superman than Clark Kent, while Lana was more in love with Clark Kent than Superman. I think if you did a Superman 4 and kept that, that would have been an interesting dynamic. Like, here's Lois who loves Superman. Here's Lana who loves Clark Kent. I think that would have been an interesting dynamic for Superman 4, but no one liked Superman 3. Everyone hated it, so Annette O'Toole wasn't able to come back, which is sad. But I liked their interactions with each other. And I just felt like Superman did more. Even little stuff like when he's helping the kid bowl and he does like, and the bowling ball just and fucks up all the bowling pins. Or the little scene he goes back, rescue the kid from this combine. Or, you know, Richard Pryor, I liked a lot of his scenes. I liked when he's being drunk and getting the, what was the actor's name? O'Herlihy? You know, getting him drunk, or the scene where he pretends to be Patton, and the other scene with the, well, he's pretending to be Superman and he gets the tablecloth. He's like, and he did this. And I know it's silly. I can understand people getting mad at the silliness. I can understand that. But it made me chuckle when he's, there's one more thing I gotta tell you. I can't ski, and he goes off. I know it's silly, but it didn't bother me in this. I know people say, well, that's hypocritical because you're bothered so much by Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. But I don't know, just, I think I like the humor in this. I don't know what to tell you. Even the really silly stuff, like when, you know, he's drunk hacking, which is a thing I've never seen before. A drunk hacker, and he's accidentally screwing other things up, including the traffic lights. And this one scene I completely forgot, and then it just, I'm like, oh yeah, where the stoplights and the red stoplight person goes up to the green goes up to the red, and they start fighting. It's surreal. I completely forgot about that, but it did make me chuckle. Like that. I mean, people don't be pissed at me, but it did make me smile. Maybe it's kind of like the X-Files. I'm a big fan of the X-Files show, which is a very serious show, but once in a while they had a humorous episode, and I quite enjoyed it. This is kind of that as well. And I think also because this movie does have enough serious moments. The scenes between him and Annette O'Toole are nice and lovely, romantic and serious. And the locations, being in the cornfield, and wasn't just the blank Fortress of Solitude. Which maybe that's one of the reasons why those scenes didn't work for me, because the background was just crystals. So it just wasn't as interesting to me. Like, I'll be honest, I think the stuff between Lana and Clark here were more interesting than the Lois and Clark stuff in Superman 2. The best stuff was in Superman 1. And that's one of the many reasons why Superman 1 is my favorite Superman movie. And, of course, I have to mention one of the best parts of this movie, one of the best parts in any Superman movie, which people, you know, they knocked this film, but evil Superman. You know, this kryptonite's given to him, but it's different. In retrospect, I wish that it came out as red, because I know there's like different colors of kryptonite that wasn't just green. So when he gave it to him, oh, it's, well, just how would they know what color kryptonite is? So it's, oh, we got kryptonite. And then the audience be like, wait a minute, it's red. Oh, is it going to do something? Oh, it does. Oh, no, it makes him evil. I like Dick Superman. Like, purposely being a dick. Like, the movie knows he's a dick, unlike Man of Steel, where he's a subliminal dick. Here, I mean, blowing out this Olympic torch and fucking up the Tower of Pisa, and the guy's like, fuck my fucking little thing, shit. And smashes to the ground, and having sex with the bimbo, and fucking up the oil tanker. And then one of the best scenes in any Superman movie, where he's in the bar, and it was nice to see Christopher Reeve do something different as Superman, to stretch out his acting talent. And he's flicking the peanuts and breaking bottles, and he melts the mirror with his heat vision, and then gets to the junkyard and has to fight with Clark. And hell, if you want to talk about Clark Kent being underutilized in, say, Man of Steel, like, what the hell is Clark Kent in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, since people love those movies so much? What is Clark Kent in those movies? Here, in a film that's so much hated, Clark Kent is what brings Superman back to good. It really showcases like Clark Kent is the, you know, having a battle with Superman, and you know, he gets beaten up, but he becomes out the stronger and chokes out the evil Superman and regains himself. And then when he stands up and he reveals the S and the Superman theme, it's such a fuck yeah moment. And the dynamic between Clark Kent and Superman, how they are two separate individuals in a way battling each other. And it's Clark Kent's ideals that he grew up with because of his mom, Pa Kent, that overcomes, and you know, that's really the essence of Superman, is Clark Kent. Or you're looking too much into it. The movie literally showcasing physically, you know, Clark Kent wins over Superman, and is there to look into. No one else is going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I mean, gripes, like I said, the opening, yeah, it's too slapsticky. You didn't need that. I mean, I kind of smiled and smirked while most people groaned. So, I mean, I enjoyed it, but on the TV cut, I believe there's just the space credits, Superman 3. You could have just done that after, you know, there's an opening scene with Richard Pryor. You could have had that kept in, then just do the Superman. But, you know, even the opening didn't bother me as much as other people, but I did it. And I like the battle at the end where they're shooting all these missiles at him. He's avoiding all of them. There's even a point where he turns and he hits a missile. Before fucking Captain Marvel did it. Remember Captain Marvel when she took the missile, threw it, and blew up like 50 other missiles? Superman did in this movie where he hit the missile and it blew up like 10 missiles behind him. So Captain Marvel fucking stole for Superman 3. And it's a much better movie than Captain Marvel, I'll tell you that much. And Christopher Reeve, he's still serious and earnest, and he's not making fun of the character. That's the thing. Superman himself is not making, like, Christopher Reeve's earnest is genuine. There's a lot of genuine moments. The effects for 1983 I thought worked fine. Again, for 1983. It's not like this, if there's the same effects as 2003. And then the supercomputer at the end, when the sister, Robert Vaughn's character, turns to a robot, it's pretty creepy. You know, creepy visual look to it. I think even as a kid I was creeped out by it. But I'm like, fuck, that robot. And I literally fucked the robot, but I mean, like, ooh, shit. Robot's a bit eerie. And like the one moment where like you have these two machines shooting electricity and Superman's like being pushed back, that reminded me of like a Fleischer cartoon. I don't just, you know, that like the big computer thing behind him, it pushed him back to where he's not supposed to be, and I don't know, just that one moment flashed me back to the Fleischer cartoons, which I saw quite a bit when I was a kid and really enjoy. I love the Fleischer cartoons of the 40s. And that's what I mean, like, again, one of my gripes, maybe do more with that supercomputer, like maybe it makes like a giant robot this Superman fights, or, you know, something that Superman punches, something of that nature. But again, it's him using his brain and his wit, just like he did at the end of Superman 2, in order to stop this thing. I thought Superman shared a nice moment with Richard Pryor at the end. And again, the film did make me laugh when Richard Pryor does the thing and there's nothing underneath. He's like, 10 miles? Yeah, I'll walk. Yeah, I think I'll walk. So yeah, I really enjoy the film. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people make it out to be. I think it's underrated. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'll even put it in the title of this video, because I'm not going to be afraid or ashamed for liking what I want to like. I think this is a fun movie. I think it's an entertaining film. I think, you know, people are like, oh, you don't get a lot of Superman. Technically, you get more Superman in this movie than Superman 2. Technically. I love the computer aspect of it. I thought that made it even more interesting. I love Richard Pryor in the film. I did Robert Vaughn. I liked him. And even the bimbo character, they do a little bit where she's not as dumb as people think, because she'll be like reading stuff or doing things that she kind of like masking her idiocy. When you watch the film again, pay attention to that. I thought that was kind of a... She's pretending to be a bimbo, but there's little nuggets that you see. Oh, she's not really that dumb. She's putting up an act. Like there's stuff that, you know, people don't want to give credit to, like the Annette O'Toole and Clark scenes, the evil Superman, the the computer stuff, which again made it different and not just a carbon copy of the first two films. And it's 2 hours. I thought they went by very quickly. Didn't think it was slow at all. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun watching it again. And yeah, I'm going to get a lot of people pissed at me, or no one's going to agree with me, but whatever. It's still my opinion. So Superman 3, it's A-okay in my book. And I still maintain it's, watch again, it is my second favorite Superman film. So it's Superman 1, then 3, then 2. That's just my opinion. But thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you in the next video. Later.